Hello, friends and sunflowers. My name is Lena, and welcome back to my channel. Today, Enhypen dropped something very exciting. Manifesto, Day 1, Walk the Line, which is like an intro, basically. It is finally feeling like summer, and June 13th, today, we got Manifesto, Day 1, Walk the Line. So I guess the new series of albums, don't know how many yet, is going to be called Manifesto. So we finished the Dimension series, which we already knew they had the outro and everything like that, and now we're going into Manifesto. And now I think Manifesto has to do with like changing things. I'm just gonna look that up actually. Manifesto, a public declaration of policy and aims. What makes something a manifesto? It usually accepts a previously published opinion or public consensus that promotes an idea with prescriptive notions. Ooh, interesting. Let's look at Webster. Written statement declaring publicly the intentions, motives of views of its issuer. Interesting. In the outro of their last album, they kind of were like, oh, you know, this is a new day, this is us making our decisions now, like we can do what we want now. It's day 2 of what we're doing. So this is interesting. This is back to Day 1 Walk the Line. But I feel like this is them like writing their story now, you know? Either way, I'm really excited. We're back to Walk the Line, like Border, the Border albums. Like it was literally called Border Day 1. Oh, hello. It suddenly got very sunny. By the way, it's summer and I'm very excited. Okay, it's not actually summer, but we're like a week away from official summer, and it's definitely, I'm feeling the summer vibes, you guys. I'm having such a good time. I feel like refreshed. I'm like, oh my god, summer's here. Things are happening in the world. It feels like we're getting new stuff happening, so I'm very excited about summer. So if I seem like extra excited in this video, it's because I'm like, oh yes, the seasons are changing and I'm enjoying it fully. I have been slowly catching up on all of the chapters of The Dark Moon in the web novel, which is the one on Wattpad, very slowly. I'm working on hopefully trying to get a video explaining the storyline from start to maybe chapter 30 or something like that. For the Dark Moon storyline, hopefully before this comes out, but I am not promising anything because there is a lot of information. Some things that I find interesting is, keeping in mind I'm in around chapter 15, they end up going back to their orphanage which burned down, and basically they found like their director was keeping these stories of this like alternate dimension where they were the knights and there was like a princess or whatever, and so I'm wondering if it has something to do with that. Because it was almost like they were writing the story or had record of the story that paralleled their lives. And also they recently just said something that maybe seemed like a hint in Alive. Let me find the exact wording here. Mirror dimension. They did say mirror dimension and they all laughed. That was a thing that happened it was a radio show that they did. So that does kind of seem like maybe there's a hint there, and we have seen, obviously, they have hinted at several dimensions before. The mirror dimension, mirroring each other, that also kind of ties into what my idea was for the idea of, like, having one sort of magic island dimension where anything in that dimension, like, mirrors what is happening in real life. I find it really interesting. There's also been a lot of stuff with mirrors, especially in their last comeback, which is the Japanese music video. I know I didn't do a video on that one yet. I will include it in my overall Enhypen video. It just isn't specifically explaining that music video. There's just some things in there that I feel like I don't have the context to explain yet, which is why I'm trying to catch up on all of the web novel, because there's a lot and it keeps coming out. Like the webtoon went on hiatus, the one on like webtoon, obviously Naver webtoon, but the Wattpad story for some reason just continued going. So anyways, now that I've talked your ear off for gosh knows how long, we should actually watch the video. That's why you clicked here. I'm just really excited that there's some more content happening with Enhypen again. And yeah. Okay, let's go. Oh. Okay, this is the first time that they've done a voiceover that's not in English. Let me just reread that. A line. A borderline that traverses the world and beyond, like dividing a white sheet of paper. Okay, so again, going off of the line that they've already been talking about. I love the art effect here too. Oh, a nightmare. Interesting. That makes me think a little bit of the carnival that they were doing. Carnival vibes, that it was a nightmare. They had a lot of talks about dreams in that era too, which obviously tie into the whole princess thing. Oh, English. To an unknown destination. Okay, so just for context, again, they were running because the orphanage was set on fire. They did not set the orphanage on fire, apparently, but the orphanage was set on fire, and they were told to run because they were being attacked by the lesser vampires, I guess, and basically everyone else burned to death, so that's great. Anyways, that's why they're running. Towards an unknown destination, beyond the border, to cross the line. Interesting. So again, the art here, okay, I have so many things to say, okay? I'm sorry. The art here is making me think of the Black Fog that is specifically in the Fever music video at the beginning when it has the prince side where they're like, it looks like royalty, them being knights. Where on the knights side it said princes. They do look very princely. But they're the knights in that music video, and I'm wondering if this is actually telling the story of the knights and not the story of them running from the orphanage. But again, they mirror each other, so keep that in mind. Like running in a wheel. Trapped? Okay. We've definitely seen some hints of sort of them being trapped in something. Ooh, this is again making me think of Fever with the heart. There's like chains around their heart. I think it was specifically Sungwoon's heart that they showed in the Fever music video. Ooh. Well, I just realized now it's Japanese. I thought it was Korean for some reason, and now I'm hearing it, but it's definitely Japanese. When did they switch to Japanese? They're just using all three languages. I kind of love that. See, this is already Japanese. And I declare. Ooh. I'm now drawing the line. Okay, so that was exactly what I was saying. I was like, remember, they didn't have control in the first one, but then at the end of day 2, they said that they had control to write it, and a manifesto is about writing, like, new rules, essentially, I think. Is that what we came to the conclusion of? I literally just read the definition. And so now they're literally drawing the line. They're making their own future. Maybe. Okay, see, and they have the sword, which is again following the knights in the original other mirror universe. Draw the line. Oh my gosh. Oh my. Oh. This is making me think of something. The like music. Not Daft Punk, but something like that. Erase the lines that cage me, throw away the rules. Oh my gosh. Ooh. I love how the eye just came out of that. Oh my gosh. Manifesto day 1. So they're rewriting their day 1. Interesting. I wonder... You don't think that the Knights rewrote day 1 to be what we see as the modern day 1, right? No. I don't know. Something's happening here. Oh, there's so much to think about. Oh... First of all, can I just always, I always comment on these, but the animation in this is so good. I love it. I'm so happy about it. Like, it just looks so cool. I feel like they actually stepped it up somehow. This was very similar to the animation that they did in their comeback show, I think, for from last time. So, yeah. Oh, this is really exciting. The music videos definitely have their own sort of narrative that they're following, and it ties into what we see elsewhere. I do want to reiterate, in case you've never seen my previous videos where I kind of mentioned this, for some reason the music videos, or like the media that we see, the Wattpad story and the webtoon story are all different to varying degrees, but they have underlying same things. I hope and believe that they're different because it's like different dimensions, timelines, something like that. Same with TXT, they seem to be this different. So if you follow me doing explanations about TXT, it's the same kind of idea. So I'm kind of like, ooh, this is actually making sense to me. This is sort of connecting things a little bit to me. What if in one story it was them having it written for them, and then in the other it was them writing their own story, and this is telling us like the outside view? I don't know, maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. Again, I still have about 15 more chapters till chapter 30 of Dark Moon, and I want to see how this like ties into their music videos especially. I feel like there's going to be some really big tie-ins in the future, and I feel like the music videos, like especially the Japanese version one, hinted at things that we haven't even seen yet written in the Wattpad story or in obviously the webtoon, which has been on hiatus for several months, I think since April? It was supposed to come out of hiatus in June, but it got pushed to August, so yeah. If you liked this video, if you thought my explanations were helpful to you in any way, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And of course, please subscribe with notifications turned on so that YouTube tells you every single time I post a new video. All of my social media is linked in the description below. And of course, I want to give a shout out to my patrons over on Patreon. Thank you guys so much for your support. By the way, I have made a patron-only Discord server, so if you're interested in that and come in and chatting with us, make sure you check out my Patreon for that. As it is, thank you guys again so much for watching. I hope that you have a lovely day. Stay sunny, my friends. Bye!